A very warm welcome to you all students. Today our topic of discussion is the kingdom fungi. Before this we have already seen the two kingdoms, that is the monerans and the protists. Now a third kingdom is fungi. Now just to recall, we have already seen that the whole animals and plants are divided into 5 kingdom classification given by R.H. Whitaker. Out of that, we have already studied the unicellular prokaryotes monerans, the unicellular eukaryotes protists, and now our third kingdom is the multicellular eukaryotic fungi. So basically fungi are multicellular in nature except one, that is yeast, which is unicellular. Rest all the fungi, they all are multicellular in nature. And the most important characteristics of the fungi are that they are multicellular, eukaryotic and heterotrophic mode of nutrition. They do not contain chlorophyll, so they cannot prepare their own food. So the very first characteristic is that they are heterotrophic in nature, and that too most fungi are saprophytic in nature. Saprophytic means they absorb the soluble organic matter from the dead and the decaying substrates, so they are called saprophytes. Then there are also some fungi that depend on other living plants and animals, and so they are called parasites. Some fungi can live in association with some other organisms, so they are known as symbionts. That is because they can live in a symbiotic association with algae also. In that case they are termed as lichens, or they can remain in symbiotic association with the roots of higher plants such as mycorrhiza. That means in the symbiotic relationship there can be two types of fungi. Number one, lichens, that is they form association with the algae, and number two, mycorrhiza, that is they form association with the roots of higher plants. Higher plants means like of gymnosperms. Okay. For mycorrhiza we'll be discussing later on in the plant kingdom. Okay. So you can see that we have already discussed in our previous classes that most of the organisms are classified basically on the criteria of their mode of nutrition, the type of cell they are having, okay, and the presence and absence of cell wall, or the presence and absence of the pigments in them, whether they are autotrophic in nature or not. So if we consider fungi and we look at the structure of the cell, so they are eukaryotic, that means they are having a well defined nucleus. Number one. Number two, they can be multicellular and they can be unicellular. Unicellular example is yeast. Okay, the only fungus which is unicellular is yeast. Rest all of them are multicellular in nature. Then if we consider the mode of nutrition, so basically all of them are heterotrophic in nature. Why they are heterotrophic? Because they cannot prepare the food at any cost. Like previously we have studied about the protist kingdom, that there were some which were having chlorophyll and they can behave as both animal and plants, for example Euglena. But here fungi, they do not have the green pigment chlorophyll, and we know very well that all those organisms that do not have chlorophyll cannot prepare their own food, that is they are not autotrophic in nature. So fungi, they are heterotrophic, means they have to depend upon other organisms. And among heterotrophic also, which mode they belong to? Basically they belong to the saprophytic mode. Means you must have seen like whenever the edibles we take in our kitchen or in our house, when they get a little bit moisture, then they become covered by a lot of fungus, isn't it? Then in the rainy season also you can see in the your garden, in the soil, that all on the dead and decaying logs and plants, small fungus start growing. So that means they grow on the dead and decaying objects. So they are saprophyte in nature. And they can also be parasites, means there are some that can live on the living plants or on animals, so they are called parasites. And they can live in association also with other organisms, like if they are in association with green algae belongs to the kingdom Plantae, okay, so they will be known as lichens. And if they are found in association with the roots of some higher plants, they will be known as mycorrhiza. So basically lichens and mycorrhiza are the two important terms which are asked in the examination, so they are very important from exam point of view. Okay, next, the most important thing which you should know about the fungi is basically the structure of a particular fungus.